What is your name and what branch of the military do you serve in?
Hello, my name is Kevin Myers, and I serve in the United States Air Force.
Okay. What is your ranking in the military as of now?
As of right now, I am a Chief Master Sergeant.
Okay. How old were you when you joined the military?
When I joined the military, I was 20 years old, and 2 weeks later, after I joined, I turned 21.
Okay. Why did you join the military?
It's actually a little funny. I actually joined the military because when I was in college, I got a credit card and I ran the credit card bill up, and I was afraid to ask my parents for some money to pay it off. And I had a friend that was in the military, and so he encouraged me to join the military. And so I did. So I joined the military to get money to pay off that credit card. And I also joined because to get money for school, such as the GI Bill.
Okay. Is there one memory from the military that stands out to you that you would like to share, and why does that memory stand out to you?
Yeah, there is a particular memory that stands out to me, and it was after 9/11 happened. And at that time, I was a graduate student at the University of Pittsburgh, and I was a member of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. And after 9/11 happened, about a month or two after, I got a phone call from my leadership, and they said, "Hey, pack your bags. In 48 hours, you're going to be getting on a plane and you're going to deploy." So that moment sticks out because, our country had just gone, and, we had lost a lot of our members, that were in the Twin Towers, that were at the Pentagon. I think it was Flight 93 that went down in Pennsylvania as well. And so that was a very significant time, and something that I remember because I then got to go and deploy and do everything I had trained for up to that point. I had the opportunity to now go serve my country overseas and help defend this country.
Okay. It's nice to know. Where all have you served?
Wow. So I've been to several places here in the United States, um, such as maybe Texas. And um, then I've also been overseas. So I've been to Sigonella, Italy, which is a beautiful place. I've been to England. I've been to um, Afghanistan. I've been to Kazakhstan, and then maybe a few other places. I've been to Qatar as well. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay. Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Hmm. So one memorable experience has been serving as a first sergeant. And as a first sergeant, I am an advisor to the commander, and I am an advisor to the superintendent, or most likely a chief of that squadron or group. And so I get to serve shoulder to shoulder with them. I get to advise them. I get to be a liaison for them and the members of the squadron or group. So that's been a really great job to have since I've been in the military. And probably the second most memorable thing I would share is earlier this year, I was promoted to the rank of Chief Master Sergeant, which is the highest enlisted rank in the Air Force. And to reach that enlisted rank means a lot because it was something that my family has supported me in throughout my career, and it was not something that I ever thought I may be able to accomplish. but I have through hard work, mentorship, and the support of my family. So I would say making the rank of Chief Master Sergeant is the most second most memorable moment of my career so far.
Okay. So, how do you think being in the military has shaped you as a person?
It shaped me a lot. One thing it shaped me is I exercise a lot because in the military you have to be physically fit. And so exercising is very important because exercising and being physically fit impacts other aspects of my job that I do. So it helps keep me mentally sharp. It helps me to have mental focus. And so exercise is something that's very important in the military.
Okay. What inspired you to join the military?
Um, some of my friends, again, I had a friend that had already joined when I was in college and needed some money. But the longer that I've been in the military, I've met a lot of people who have become mentors, who have um, been great role models for me in the military. And so joining the military was one accomplishment, but being able to stay now in the military and serve almost 23 years is something that I didn't plan on doing. And so the longer that I'm in, the more passion I have to serve the country, the more passion I have to serve others and help others grow and help them to accomplish their goals and dreams in the military as well.
Okay. What do you love most about your job?
Wow, there's so many things I love about my job. But I think the thing I love the most about being in the military is simply serving, because every morning I get up and put my uniform on, and as I do that, and the other airmen and other people I work with, they do the same thing. They get up and put their uniform on, but we know that the work that we do allows for our country to have the freedoms that we have. So to know that I get to do that, that the people I work with work side by side with me to help protect those freedoms um, is very rewarding.
Okay. Did training change the way you looked at the military and how so?
So training did change the way I looked at the military because the training is really, really tough. So I was not an athlete, and so some people who join the military, they're already fit and they're already in shape. So the training that we go through, a lot of people think it's all about push-ups, running, and things like that. But the military has changed. So as we have moved to a more technological society, the military has also transitioned to more of a technological military force. So although the physical aspect of training is very important in what we do as military members, being able to utilize and leverage technology and the training that we now use with technology, such as things on Zoom, like this interview right here, and other platforms like Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams, we are able to do training all around the world now in the same day versus getting on an airplane and traveling somewhere and staying in hotels and getting up and going to conference rooms. Now, with the use of technology, we can do training anytime, anywhere with people all across the world, our military members all across the world. So training has become different now that we use technology to train our airmen and our soldiers and our sailors.
Okay, and final question. What is the craziest event that has happened during your time in the military?
Wow, the craziest event that has happened in my time in the military. Wow. Um, it hasn't happened to me, but I will share a tradition that I have seen now many, many times in my career. So, prior to being a first sergeant, I worked in the operations squadron or operations group there at the 172nd Airlift Wing at Jackson, Mississippi. And so one of the things that happens or the tradition is when a pilot or a loadmaster is flying on their last flight of their military career. And what is called, they call it a finny flight. And so with that finny flight, that means it's the last flight they will ever fly as a military member during their military career. And so when they get off the airplane, what they do is they get hosed down by the fire truck from the fire department. They get hosed down by their friends and family with buckets of water. And most of the time, they may have a bottle of champagne to celebrate. So even though it has not happened to me, I've had the opportunity to witness many flyers, pilots, and load masters fly their last flight of their military career. And when they get off the airplane, we soak them in water and we get to celebrate their years of service, their years of commitment. And we also get to acknowledge and celebrate their family as well, because their families have also sacrificed. So even though that hasn't happened to me, I've watched and observed it many times. And so that's pretty crazy because sometimes some people get a little water and then sometimes the people get a lot of water and get really, really soaked.
All right, that was a lot. Thank you for that.
Well, you are very welcome. And I have been very privileged to be interviewed for the program.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Abby West, and I'm here with Senior Master Sergeant Ray West, my dad, and I'll be asking him a few questions on his service in the military. To start off, how old were you when you decided to join the military, and why?
I was 21 years old. I was looking for ways to better myself and to earn some college money at the time.
If you could describe what being in the military is like in 3 words, what would they be?
Rigorous. We're asked to do things that are rigorous of ourselves, like PT standards. It's also demanding on our time and our energy. And I would say it's also challenging. It's challenging to be in the military for a lot of reasons. There could be things that are mentally challenging as well as the other things that we talked about.
I didn't know all about that in the military. What are some of the places that you've gone to that you've actually really enjoyed visiting?
I've gotten to see a good bit of the world since I've been in the military. I've been to Japan, South Korea, Hawaii, England, Germany, and I've been to a whole lot of places in the United States that I wouldn't have got to see otherwise as well.
I didn't know that you went to half of those.
I went to some other places that weren't so much fun.
Have you ever served during a wartime?
I have. I was called up for a year of service to support Operation Iraqi Freedom. I went to Iraq January 1st of 2005.
Could you describe the work environment or the work conditions?
I can. I went to Iraq, like I said, on January 1st. It was actually very cold, and it was also wet in the desert. The winter is the rainy season, and a lot of people may not realize that it's very cold in desert areas in that time of year. So it was cold and wet when I arrived, and we worked in an abandoned building that had bullet holes in it and a dirt floor. And we also lived in tents.
Sounds kind of miserable. Would you suggest the military to someone looking for a really good career path?
I would. It's a very honorable career to serve in the military and support your country. A lot of people may not know that there are a lot of other jobs that soldiers, airmen, sailors, and Marines do. It's not just people in trenches fighting with guns. There's doctors, lawyers, nurses, logistics personnel, mechanics, there's a whole myriad of other jobs that a lot of people may not realize are within the military.
Well, I learned a lot more than I did actually about the military. And once again, my name is Abby West, and this is Senior Master Sergeant Ray West. Thank you for answering some questions, and thank you for your service in the military.
Thank you.
So, what's your name, and what branch of the military do you serve?
Mike Holcomb with the United States Air Force, Mississippi Air National Guard.
Okay. What's your rank in the military?
Master Sergeant, E7.
How old were you when you first joined the military?
20.
That's young. Why did you join the military?
I needed some type of vocational education, and I wanted to serve my country.
Is there one memory from the military that stands out to you, and would you like to share it?
First time I ever deployed with my unit, we went to Ramstein, Germany, and it showed me just how big of a machine I put myself into. Seeing what big Air Force, major hub. That's a lot of aircraft moving when I'm used to 8, 7 at one time. I was looking at 50 and 60 going in a day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Well, I've been to 58 different countries, and it's really allowed me to see just how different everybody else is. They, all around the world, different cultures, we become real narrow-minded and kind of a little too focused on ourselves and not as tolerant to what everybody else is thinking. And trust me, when you fly around the world, everybody else's perspective, you kind of realize where they're at, where they're from, why they act the way they do, and why they think the way they do. You become more interested in it. And that's been the biggest lesson I've learned doing what I do.
How do you think being in the military shaped you as a person?
I think it's given me more structure, more responsibility, more self-discipline. Unfortunately for you, it's had me teach my children more self-discipline. I don't know. I've been wearing the same uniform for 20 years, and I'm proud of it. I love what I do. God bless me with that one.
What inspired you to join the military?
Again, I wanted to serve my country. All my grandfathers and my father, they served. I wasn't really good at school, and I was building fences for minimum wage, and I had a child, and that wasn't working. So somebody turned me to the military, even though I thought it was too late for me. I went to learn a better job, to make higher pay, to be able to afford a living.
Oh man. What do you love most about your job?
I love airplanes.
I do too.
I've looked up, when I was 1, I remember, I don't remember, but we flew to Germany on a C-130, but we were 5. I was 5 when we moved back. And I've always looked up in the air at aircraft. I've been an airplane nerd my whole life, so it only made sense. God bless me to let me be an aircraft mechanic.
Okay. What is the craziest event that has happened during your time in the military?
I've had a lot. One of the coolest things that didn't make sense to me was we were going from Ramstein, Germany, and we wanted to go to Paris, France. And we jumped on a train that did almost 200 miles an hour, which we called the Silver Bullet, and what it's formerly called, I have no idea.
It sounds fun.
It was cool.
Did training change the way you looked at the military? If so, how?
Yes. We grow up thinking the military is, walk around with your chest out looking for a fight all the time. And that's not really what it is. I mean, we all have a job to do. The military is a civilization all of its own, you know. And normal everyday life, everybody's got a job to do, and everybody's got a piece to play. Well, it's the same way in the military. We just wear the same uniform. There's more structure. Again, you know, you have your ranks, you have your chain of command, and you have a job to do. And as long as you do your job, everybody's fine. There's more consequences in the military for you not doing your job than in the real world. Again, that's where it falls into more structure, and I love it.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.